Hey everybody, Jason at JacFab here, and boy what a day. Today's the day that I'm finally going to show you guys the Laminator FX. We're going to talk about it, we're going to talk about why it's great, and we're going to tell you when it's going to go on sale. So anyway, here's the box. This is going to look very similar to what you're going to get if you buy one of these. You open the box, you'll immediately see this fancy laser engraved foam with the logo. It's very nice. So you open the box and then boom, you get to here. What is that? Oh boy. This is basically a drop-in chin filler for the intake manifold. That's it. So I know some of you guys may be a little disappointed, but there's a lot of reasons behind this. So anyway, you'll also see a single screw that comes with it that's going to be used to hold it in, but I'll talk about that in a few minutes. So why the chin filler? Why now? Well, there's a lot of reasons. One, we kind of got tired of dealing with core exchange manifolds because they were coming back so dirty and so grimy. We'd spend more time cleaning them than we would actually porting them. And so at which point I made a decision and I said, we're just going to use new manifolds. So I'm not sure why, but the price on these manifolds keeps getting higher and higher and higher. The last manifold that I had to get from the dealer here just within the last month or so, I paid $290 for it. So do the math there. We charge for, say, a 72 millimeter version, we charge $450. 290 of that is a manifold that I'm buying. You're getting free shipping, which is 30 to 50 bucks depending on where you are. In the States it's free anyway. A gasket kit, which the price on that keeps going up. Last gasket kit I bought was $29.50 at the dealer. So at the end of the day, there's really not a lot of meat there left if you're trying to keep the lights on and feed all your children. God, that's good stuff. But anyway, cost. The cost of this is expensive. And not only is it expensive for us, but it's also expensive for you guys. Not everyone wants to spend $450, $500. I get that. And so part of this, it's kind of it's going to scratch our back, but it's going to scratch your back at the same time, or more importantly, your wallet, I guess. So now let me explain how great this is. So I guess first off, before I get into all the details, let me show you exactly what it does. You got your regular run-of-the-mill LFX intake manifold. You insert like so. Boom. Wow, that is amazing. So anyway, let's get you a better view. This manifold's a little dusty and it's a little dark, but anyway, you can see here that this is pretty good. And there's obviously it's not filled like we would fill our normal manifolds, but there's just ever so slightly, just a ridge where it sits. But I mean, it's pretty seamless as far as, look at that, that's amazing. So let me open this new manifold. This is brand spanking new. Haven't even opened it yet. Of course I left my knife in my car. What a bonehead. Okay, brand new. Still has the tag on it, man. So here's what your inlet will look like. So basically, here's the stock inlet. You got the, we're just gonna call it air waffle for today. Some kind of restrictor or something. And then you got the big hole down below, business as usual. So an optional part of the installation of this is we're going to recommend cutting off this air waffle. And it's as easy as taking a pair of dikes. You can do this right on the car. Maybe just stuff a rag in there so it doesn't fall down into the engine. No big deal. There you go. Your air waffle is gone. Basically, you know, and this is how I flow tested this. So here we go. Oh boy. I didn't even clean up the nubs. I don't know if you can see that. But all I did was literally take the dikes and cut this thing off and drop the thing in. And that's how I flow tested it. So, as you may or may not know, every single ported intake manifold gets flow tested for consistency, essentially. And this thing's made of like 1, 2, 3, I think it's like 4 parts that kind of come together. You know, the runners, and so everything's, you know, it's not perfect every single time. The work we try to do is pretty close, but because of the way these manifolds are constructed, there's always going to be a variance. So typically, when we port this, I'll see anywhere from 19 to 21, sometimes a 22% increase in airflow before and after. Mainly, I see 20 to 21, but there's an occasional scraggler at 19, and then there's an occasional superstar at 22. But really, it's not that we're doing anything different. It's the inner construction of how everything's lined up on the particular day that someone in Canada smashed all these pieces together and sent it to GM. So that said, I used the same manifold, stock, laminator, ported. We flow tested them same day, and essentially what we saw with this laminator, which this is one of our test pieces, is we saw a 17% increase in airflow by busting off the air waffle and putting the laminator in. Now, that's pretty good considering the same ported manifold that we did, which I don't have here, it's already been sold at this point, was 20.5% on that particular day. So on a bad day, this laminator being busting off the air waffle it's within 2%. On a good day, it's within 3 or 4%. So really, it's busting off the air waffle and putting in the laminator is really, really close to the same flow gains that I typically see on a ported intake manifold. So if you were paying attention when I was teasing that something new was coming, and you paid attention to what I was saying to certain people that I would respond to, is if you already have a ported intake manifold, obviously this isn't going to do you any good. And I didn't say that it would be better than a ported intake manifold. It's very close, but the super major benefit to this for both you and me, because I don't got to buy intake manifolds and you don't got to spend $450, is the price on these is going to be just under $100. And it's, you know, 95% of what you would normally pay $450 for. So really, for what you're getting for just under $100 is a ridiculously screaming deal that everyone can afford. So this is a broken manifold that we'll use for today because I don't want to drill a hole in that new one. But anyway, it's because of these manifolds being used on your car, there's already all kinds of oil residue and moisture from reversion and whatnot. So theoretically, you shouldn't, you possibly can, but you shouldn't try to glue this thing in with like silicone or any kind of glue, because of that residue. Your glue or adhesive is probably going to fail, and this thing is going to go, it's not going to get sucked into your engine, but it's going to block some airways for sure. So the best way that I'm thinking that we need to install this is just use a single screw, and you can put it in from the front right on the car, and we're going to give you a little black screw cap that you can push over it, so it's not going to be just sticking out there. But if you're pulling the intake manifold off, you can also screw it on from the back, and that way there's no screw on the front. So you've got two ways of going about it. On the car, screw goes in from the front, bust off your air waffle, or if you take it off, you're going to put a spacer on, whatever, screw it on from the back. Now, if you've never seen one of our ported manifolds, when we do them, whether they were an old nasty oil covered used one or a brand new one, we put two bolts in the back that when we fill the void, the filler will conform around the bolts, and that's a mechanical bond that keeps the filler from ever trying to come out. So basically, it's a, I don't want to say it's a ghetto ported intake manifold, but same principle. Screw, bang, wow, it's amazing. It's super cheap. Why wouldn't you buy one? Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna try and just drill this just for the sake of doing it, since I haven't done one yet, so we can learn together. Bang. Just like a so. Boom. It's not coming out now. Piece of cake. Put your little screw cap on. No one will see it. Or screw it in from the back. So once your screw's in there, I think I would suggest maybe a dab of silicone in the screw cap, or ever so slightly around the edges, just to ensure there's no vacuum leak. And really, that's it. Oh yeah, I can see once upon a time this was a ported manifold, but then the ear broke. This already has holes from where our previous bolts were, and I took the bolts out and took the filler out for the purposes of showing you this on the video, since I didn't want to ruin a brand new manifold, not knowing if someone's going to want to buy a ported one or if it's just going to sit on the shelf forever, because Laminator. So there it is, and it's got a hole in it, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that one. Maybe we'll give it to one of you guys, because the hole ain't going to hurt nothing when you put it in your car, but I can't sell it because it's got a hole in it now. So that's it, guys. It's not as good as a ported intake manifold, but it's real close, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper. And I guess before everyone starts jumping in here and says, what about the bottom? Why don't you do anything to the bottom? It's not ported. Well, all these flow numbers, since the beginning of time when I started doing this, all we do is modify the inlet. We don't touch the bottom. It's, you know, the way the things are assembled, they're assembled in such a way that air comes this way, so it's not going like this and smashing into a big step. It's going the opposite direction, and so air just keeps on going. It's not really a problem, and I've tested it, and you know, it picked up like 0.5%, and I was like, well, it's not worth it. I've also hogged the shit out of one, like gasket matched it, you know, the top and the bottom, you know, whatever, and it killed the bottom end power. So since the beginning of time, I went through multiple manifolds, and then when we finally dyno tested everything that was all fine and good, All it was the inlet. No work done on the bottom. It doesn't need it. And if anyone tells you it does, you're just wasting your time and money. So that's where this comes in. This doesn't need to be touched. This goes here, bust off the air waffle. It's cheap, and it's 90% of the way there. Water, proud sponsor of JacFab. So anyway, I'm hoping that we have a bunch of these next week. I can't guarantee it. I'm going to call the company that's making them on Monday and see what the time frame is. But anyway, we're going to start taking orders for these on Black Friday. So for our, I guess it's annual, the annual Black Friday sale, Black Friday, it'll continue into Small Business Saturday, and then we'll cut it off. The normal price, not on sale, it's going to be $99.95 with free shipping. For the sale, we're going to do $79.95 free shipping in the United States. International shipping will be extra, but we're going to start taking orders for these on Black Friday. So the other deal that I need to discuss about Black Friday is, because of sales, we can't really afford to do sales upon sales upon sales and discount after discount. So for Black Friday, this is going to be 20% off realistically. Regular ported manifolds and intake manifold spacers, they're going to be an 80mm throttle body kits from Overkill. All that stuff's going to be 10% off. There's not going to be any combo deals for the Black Friday sale. The sale price is going to save you more money than you would normally save with the combo deal. And we can't afford to do a combo deal and a sale. And we have to just close up shop and just quit. So JacFab stuff, this thing's 20% off. Regular JacFab stuff is 10% off. Yeah, so anyway, Black Friday, check us out, Laminator. Yeah, so along with the Black Friday stuff, the other thing that I wanted to mention is we're gonna have Overkill supercharger kits on the website on sale for Black Friday. Now, what's the difference between buying it from me or buying it from Will? Well, if you buy it off our website, and I know how much people love financing stuff, because, you know, $5,000, however many dollars it's going to be, not everyone's got that many dollars laying around generally. If you're not aware, we've been partnered with a firm for probably about 6 months now. So a firm, you will be able to finance things like ported manifolds or really expensive supercharger kits. You may qualify for 6 months 0% interest, so that's always nice. But anyway, it's an option. So now with the Overkill supercharger kits on the website, you have the option to finance them. So if that's something you're interested in, check that out. But anyway, that's all I've got for today. So sorry it's been a while since I've made a video. I'll try and make more. Thanks for watching.